Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Monster Hunter Frontier Z Zenith! And today, I'm wearing the golden bouquet again. Anyway, I want you guys to truly appreciate that right there, item loadout sets. I would really, I think I'm gonna have to do some more research, but I would really, if any of you know, please leave it down in the comment section. I really like to know when did they added loadout sets. Why did we wait till 4 Ultimate for that? Wait, was it in 4? I'm not sure if it was in 4 or 4 Ultimate that they bring item loadouts. That just makes it so much easier to get up and go, especially if you actually, title your sets appropriately. I have normal sets, gathering sets, and sets that I make for specific monsters because not all monsters have the same ailments. Like you have one specifically kitted out with deodorants or antidotes. But I know how everything is now in World and Rise. We just bring all of it. Anyway, guys. Let's see. Dragon ammo. I'm still worrying about that. Like, is dragon ammo weird to you guys? It's the only ammo that's actually elemental and pierced. Like, seeing that in newer generations is just weird, but I really remember that in Freedom Unite, and it threw me off a lot. It threw me off a little bit when I first saw it. I was like, huh? What is pierce ammo? What? What is that? Does it do more damage? Because unless you have the calculations, you don't know whether you whiffed it or got it. For example, there's a shorter amount of burst of damage per time versus Pierce 3 versus Pierce 2. But Pierce 3 goes through creatures longer, not necessarily, but they can fly a longer distance while continuously doing damage. While Pierce 2 seems to have a lot better cluster of damage output because it doesn't need to be as big as a creature. Well, not be as a creature, it doesn't need to be a very big creature. For example, I would use Pierce 1 on smaller things like Ignocatris, use Pierce 2 on things like Raytheon. Oh my word. That's unfortunate. I apparently forgot to bring hot drinks. Not hot drinks, cool drink. Please excuse me. But hopefully, I'm gonna give you guys something to think about. Let me ask you a question. Does Lavoisier or Lavoisier? Lavoisier or Lavoisier? Tell me. Is it one or the other? If you were gonna argue about it, leave it down in the comment section. Why? That'll be your proof. That'll give you your answer. I guarantee no matter who puts it in the comment section, that'll be your answer. Excuse me for a moment. Look at her! She's so cute! Look at her! Ah! They should put an animation in where I just zoom in. I should. But then again, we have a long laundry list of videos to get through. So let's see if we can get those videos pumping out. To be honest with you guys, it takes like at least 2 hours per video, and I'm doing multiple series because let's see, that's editing, that's compiling, that's rendering, then that's uploading, then that's posting, and then that's promoting. There's a lot of work to do, especially if it's just one video. In fact, I'm pretty sure I have a short up right now that I'm supposed to be promoting, but I'm not doing that at all. I'm focusing on you guys because you stay here for the real content, right? Now, I want to know what in the world was I caught doing foolishness here, because I'm just staring at it. This is why I hate to leave my controller alone when I'm recording gameplay. Because I end up just standing here doing nothing. But I will not leave you guys on dead air. I have a question. I know that Lovelessly Off and Noxious was brought to Freedom Unite, but I'm like, why didn't they bring anybody else? Like Abogoru, sorry, Abogoru. You know the one I'm talking about, with the sword-like tail. It looks like they took that design, they cracked it in two, and they created both Glavenus and Devil Joe. Look at him, giant people. They took that one design, they cracked it in half, and they couldn't bring over Nargacuga because Dear Agua was already a thing. But Nargacuga is actually in this game. The funny part, I know for a fact that they bring over Dear Agua because I feel like he might have been like the beta model for that skeleton they use. If you guys didn't notice, Monster Hunter, as you play through the games, especially if you go from older to newer, from the original release to the latest release, you notice that they added different models and monster types. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure things like Azeros weren't in until Portable 3rd. But it's just how they implemented them, and they grew upon every single iteration, because I think I really like how they do a lot of the design work, especially when they have their new hooks come in. Because I'm pretty sure every Monster Hunter before I believe 4th gen, there wasn't like a hook to it. You would get monsters and then subspecies. You would get rare species as well, and they just stop right there. But ever since 4th gen, they brought in things like Apex monsters, Deviant monsters, Tempered monsters, just to, you know, shake up the boat a little bit more. But I'm not gonna lie, I truly enjoy those fights, but it feels good to see a natural progression in the monster you're fighting, and the monster actually changes. It's not quite the same monster, but it changes it's so intricately. It's almost beautiful, especially after you look at the original green rating, and then you look at the pink and then the gold. But if you actually play Frontier, you know that gold turns to white, and then she becomes a whole boatload of a bigger trouble. But I was wondering, have you noticed? This is a little tip for anybody who has played a lot of Monster Hunter, basically. Have you noticed the invasion species? There's only been like 3 so far. There's technically 4, but one of them is only found here in Frontier, and that's unknown. But the first invasion species over in the West was Devil Joe. The second one was Rosang, and the one for 5th gen is, sorry for that for a second there, is Basil Geese. Or Mr. Grease, as I like to call him. Because trust me, he's the explosive one. But sometimes I wonder. I know, I just got his gender confused. Trust me, when you're underneath there, do you really want to stay underneath there too long and figure out? Because I'm pretty sure when it gets hot and bothered, things start to go boom. Sorry, I didn't want to get caught in the explosion. I didn't have time to go looking up too much in there. I need to stop. Oh. But first of all, we're gonna go off the bat. Let's go with the poison route. Hopefully me killing him in the lava will not happen again, because that's kind of the biggest problem with hunting creatures that are in liquids in 2nd gen and 1st gen. Because if you kill them in liquids, you don't get any cars. You'll just have to deal with what you have. But that's like 3 cars. You want me to tell you who is worse? I'm guilty of it, my hunters. My sweet hunters, I'm guilty of it. I carved. I saw the clear screen and I got up and got a cup of water. And you know what came next? All my stuff was gone! Every last bit of it. Vanish. Vamoose. Ash. But it did not matter. It did not matter. And see? Nah, that's something. I really need to. I apologize for the green screen popping. Oh boy. I've been messing with too much mental stuff. That's what happens when I stop doing that. Usually I have a setup for one game and then I have a setup for another one. I have like loadouts for my recording software specifically for a specific game. But sometimes I gotta reset the system and then everything gets all jumbled up. This is actually why Bayonetta hasn't been out yet. You guys probably been waiting for that for a while. The ones who were. And I have some bad news for you too, for guys who are waiting for DMC. There was a slight problem with the destruction of the console, but let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that right now. We can talk about that later. Yes, I'm gonna make you wait for the DMC videos to come on and I'll explain there. I still trying to figure out what is the point of that movie. Because like 2/3 of us are rated. Well, 2/4. 3/4. I know for a fact that Shiori has a boomerang. Where is she keeping that thing? Oh, and this is something I hope I can show you off. That red long off is different. First of all, when he gets pissed, that attack right there, that's supposed to shoot 3 lava balls. That when he's enraged, he can shoot 5. So even if you perfect dodge the first set, you're still gonna get caught by the second one. And it's really mean with that. And shrapnel, oh the shrapnel, like I'm talking off. Sorry, not shrapnel. What I call it? Fragments. Chunks. Hip check, of course. Just ready, hip check. At least you ain't clever. If you want to know the tell for if this monster is weak, it's whenever his water has vanished. And I don't know if it's male or female still. There's more research, but I think it would be female. There's only one reason any animal changes its color, and if it's of the male sex, that's just peacock. But when females do it, it's usually to show that they're either ready or are extreme or already mated and are on their guard. That's actually what happens to black Diablos. They only come in night, which is cool because they get very, very hot. And they're extremely territorial in that form. So that explains the whoop-ass I saw in the guild hall in Monster Hunter 3 Night. Double black Diablos. My word, you will not survive. But don't worry, I seen bloodbath. Yori, why are you just shaking your butt at it? That's not helping. I'd love her saber boss. I wonder. Wait a minute. Now I have a question. Does Lavoisier smell like grilled fish? Because if it's a fish, it has fins, it has gills. Does it smell fishy? And if that's true and it lives in lava, shouldn't it smell like grilled fish? Like always smell like grilled fish. Anyway, I'm just gonna leave you guys with that for a second. I'm gonna go grab a cup of water. I'm back again just in time for the dude will hit the ground and fall like a fish. Listen to me. You'd be a perfect character. No, I just imagined it. But Kahuna log all you off. Here, my Jack Kahuna. Oh, you went to the far. If I wasn't all over that edge, that would have hit me. And the chunks will catch me. It's a good thing that blights aren't in this version of the game, and they think, see, newer hunters think the fact that blights aren't in these older versions make it not hard. But the trade-off to that is monsters don't get exhausted in the older versions of Monster Hunter. Generation 2 and 1 monsters do not get exhausted. They're either normal or they're enraged. Or in case of Frontier, they can get even more enraged. So there's no real window after a monster hits you with everything for you to just retaliate. It's more a game of checkers or chess, where you're gonna have to wait for their turn and retaliate, so on and so forth. But the monsters in newer generations, after they've come out with all their big attacks, even if you're not dishing out that much damage initially, they eventually get exhausted, and then you just wail on them. This also means things like hammers and stuff are less viable for their exhaustive capabilities, but their overall damage potential is still high. So like the biggest damage dealing weapons in first and second gen, I would say great sword, heavy bow. I would say longsword if you want a good backup, but that didn't come out until a lot later. I remember back in the day there, we just had great swords that looked like Roman swords. That was the best it was getting. But if anybody noticed how the game became a lot less simulator and more action RPG with time, it's really disheartening to see some of the things that go on in Rise. For example, I know a lot of people didn't like the fact they got rid of paintballs and moved the scout flies. Rise was like, ha! Don't you worry! Don't you worry. We're not gonna do it at all. We're not gonna do it at all. They increased the quality of life mechanics and took some strange ones away. For example, Dash Juice is in Monster Hunter Frontier, and it's in Monster Hunter Frontier, and it's also in Monster Hunter. Actually, it's in every Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter Rise just changed what it does, and its name. It's just called Dash Juice, but it's not Dash Juice. This is rip-off Dash Juice. This is Dash Juice that they water down. What it does is increase stamina regeneration and reduces stamina consumption. What Dash Juice actually is supposed to do is stop your stamina from depleting entirely. Look at that. My stamina can drain. That's a crutch that, they call it a crutch. That's a crutch that a lot of dual sword users, bow users, and basically almost every weapon has a combo. Except for a select few that have a combo that relies on stamina, but that also means you have infinite dodging, which is a godsend. For Monster Hunter Rise, Sunbreak, they scrapped all of that. If you want to play the game, you really have to get into it now. You can't just half-ass it with your Dash Juice. You're gonna have to redo it. But that's what I mean. They added quality of life and then they just took it away. And in some places, like in case of actually tracking the monster, they just dropped it completely. For example, you didn't even notice, did you pick up a map? You haven't picked up a map in a long time since World, huh? I don't know if that's helpful or useless, but it took a little bit of stuff out of the game. You remember, like, speccing out your armor so you wouldn't have to do stuff like that, or getting a companion to do it? There's something about the prep that's just missing. But maybe that's just me. I know for a fact it's just my opinion. I wonder what you guys think meanwhile. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more Monster Hunter Frontier Z Zenith content. I'll see you guys later. Peace.